work. There's joy in hard
work. Man.
Yo, let me ask you.
What did I just see?
Should we hit? I think we should hit him one more time with that. Yo, we're gonna bring it one more time. Yo, DJ,
absolutely.
bring it up.
That is fire. Absolutely fire.
Damn.
What did I just
We out here.
Man.
We out here.
Absolutely.
Yo, hit
fire.
that like button. Hit that like button if you like that new intro, because that's what we're rolling with this season, and we'll update it as we go through the season with new clips and highlights. But yo, I gotta say, first and foremost, shout out to the homie MiamiSportsCheese, Joey Shots coming through with that. That's the collaboration y'all were expecting right there. Shout out to MiamiSportsCheese, the homie. I'm gonna link his social media stuff from now on in the description, but I didn't want to link it because I didn't want everyone to know we were dropping the new intro today. But shout out to the homie MiamiSportsCheese right
Shout
before the season starts, because all of y'all know that other trailer we were using, it only gave us up till September 13th, so we had to make a move. Shout out to the homie MiamiSportsCheese for holding the channel down. I mean, we out here, man. What else can we say, man?
Absolutely phenomenal job. Shout out to you, homie. Everything is greatly appreciated. Much respect to you.
And there he is right there. Shout out to you, Joey Shots, the homie.
Absolutely.
Right there.
Absolutely.
Did a fantastic job. Yo, and this man is a humble dude. I told this guy, man, I said to Joey, I said, yo, I want to compensate you. Let me know what you think is fair for compensation. You know what the homie said? He said, you know what? I'm just happy to help out fellow Dolphins fans and help out this channel. But I'm going to tell you right now, Joey, when we update that intro during this season, I'm going to be forcing money in your hand, homie. All right?
Absolutely.
I'm letting it slide this time, but we're going to be updating this as the season goes, and you getting money in your account, bro. There ain't no escaping it because you did a phenomenal job, brother. And, you know, I appreciate your humbleness and
absolutely, man. Absolutely.
And, you know, and great work, brother. I don't know what else to say, man. You're an amazing fella, bro. And shout out.
Absolutely fire. Absolutely fire.
Go follow him on Instagram, MiamiSportsCheese, and also Joey Shots as well. And you can also find him, MiamiSportsCheese, on Twitter. And you can also find MiamiSportsCheese on YouTube. You did a great job, bro. Love you for that, fam.
Absolutely. Thank you again, man.
Bro, Lynn Bowden Jr. is a Miami Dolphin, brother. And if people go back to my running back big board, my 9 and 10 guys on the top 10 were Anthony McFarland and Antonio Gibson. I believe Antonio Gibson was 9, Anthony McFarland was 10. And Lynn Bowden Jr., I was fighting between all those three guys to fill out my final 2 spots. So Lynn Bowden was, you know, basically my running back 11.
Honorable mention.
I mean, like, we got a dynamic playmaker, and you know, I'm really super excited about this because, you know, I know on day 3 everyone remembers I wanted Josh Kelly. I expected Lynn Bowden Jr. to be there on day 3, but as everyone remembers, he went to 80th overall. But basically, here's the report. Sources, the Raiders are trading running back returner Lynn Bowden Jr. and a 6th rounder to the Miami Dolphins in exchange for 4th-round pick, the same pick just got from Vegas. The versatile Bowden Jr. was a 3rd rounder. Because, bro, if you break it down, we basically ended up trading. What's the math on that? What did we end up? We ended up trading what?
Raekwon McMillan and Raekwon and that 4th for Lynn Bowden and what do we get back in return? A 5th?
I had it up and I just closed it.
I think it was a 5th. I think it was Lynn. I think it was the player and a 5th, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But
yeah, I think you are right.
Extremely, extremely versatile player. I mean, multi-dimensional quarterback, running back, wide receiver. He's got good size, 5'11", 205, 208-ish, I think. I saw where he timed, he's timed as low as 4.38 in a 40-yard dash. Very good in the open field, shifty player.
We did. We traded McMillan in a 5th for Bowden in a 6th, essentially.
Yeah. So good value. But I'm curious to see as to why, what happened in Oakland. You know what I mean? Because this kid has
I'll go over that a little bit. The thing was,
okay.
I think they wanted to utilize him as a running back, where if people remember, he was a wide receiver at Kentucky. Then Kentucky's starting quarterback got injured and he stepped in as quarterback. And if you look at his season last year, he gained 1,468 yards on the ground with 13 touchdowns. But most of that came from when he was playing quarterback. He really didn't throw the ball very much at all. It was more so, tuck it and run, and he was killing teams with it. But what's fascinating to me, bro, and what's kind of crazy as everything has kind of settled in here a little bit, and I want to shout out the homie Brian Catt from on the Phinside, who we've had on, and his partner Paul will be on our round table next week because Catt's a little bit busy. But look at the point he made, bro. The Dolphins now have 6 of the top 80 draft picks from the 2020 draft. We have 2 at 5, Jackson at 18, Igbenogany at 30, Hunt at 39, Davis at 54, Jones and Bowden, the 3rd round guys, at 70 and 80. So that's he got his math a little wrong. We've actually got 7 of the top 80 draft picks, not 6. So to me, that's crazy, bro. Like, I mean, wow. When have you ever seen a team come away with that many picks in the top 80, right?
Yeah. Excellent value, bro. Love this move. I think the Dolphins, they have a specific role for him, a specific vision for him in this offense.
Sounds like it sounds like it's wide receiver.
Yeah. I mean, with this kid, with his unique skill set, you can see a lot of different packages that could be included. He and Malcolm Perry as well. Lot of, maybe some, I'm sure we'll see some Wildcat implementation at some point between the both of them. Who knows how they're going to use him, but he has a unique skill set.
You know what's crazy? He's kind of like Malcolm Perry, except he's faster. Where
much better athlete.
He's great after the catch. He's deadly in open field and open space. I call Malcolm the Swiss Navy the Swiss Navy knife. Well, this guy's got that whole Swiss Army knife kind of thing to him as well, right? Because he lined up in the slot, lined up on the boundary, he lined up at quarterback, he lined up at running back, and bro, he's like, the thing is, when you watch him in space, he plays at 4.3, 4.4 speed. Oh
yeah, definitely.
How elusive he is, man. Like, he takes guys out of their cleats, bro. Yeah. And one stat I saw that was crazy was, as a running back, like on designed runs, he had 48 broken tackles on 166 designed runs. So he's a little bit of a shedder too, man. The thing is, you're not going to be asking this guy to run deep.
Yeah, 25 times a game, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, but also like as a receiver, he didn't have a complicated route tree, right? It was a lot of short concepts, short intermediate area, but more to the short area.
Right.
They just wanted to get the ball in his hands and get him into open space, right? So that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, you can definitely see a lot of screens coming his way. Just get the ball in his hands and get him in open space and let him do his thing. But this kid, you want to have as many of these type of players with this unique skill set, versatile skill set that you could possibly acquire, man. So between he and Malcolm Perry, they're definitely they give an added dimension to the offense from a profile standpoint, because you look at all the the receivers that we have, that made the made that roster cut. Devontae, Preston, the homie Mac Hollins, Isaiah Ford, bigger guys, bigger catch radiuses, high point type receivers. But it's good to have, like with him, Malcolm Perry, and Jakeem Grant. It's just a different dimension you have, and you're forcing the opposing teams to be able to have to account for that. You know what I mean? A lot of defenses don't have a lot of DBs, at their third, fourth, or fifth spot. If we opt to go implement that spread packages that can match up with these guys in space. So
he's a great returner, bro.
Oh,
I mean, he averaged 22.1 yards on 9 career punts.
More value.
When you look at him as a returner, he had 25 kick returns for 539 yards, averaging 21.6 on kickoffs.
More value.
With punts, like I said, he had 2 punt returns in 2018 for touchdowns. He was a second team all SEC pick as an all-purpose performer in 2018. And then last year, he won the Paul Hornung Award for the most versatile player in college. He was one of 5 players in the last 10 seasons to lead his team in rushing yards and receiving yards.
Yeah, he can do it all, man. It'll be interesting to see how they implement him, how they integrate him in our offense.
Well, especially with how thin our wide receiver room is right now.
Yeah, I agree.
So I mean, I want to show some highlights for everyone here. You got anything else you want to add before we get into the highlights?
No, bro, go ahead.
All right, so we'll probably get copyright strike for this, but why not? Because I'm really excited about this kid. So we'll go here, guys. I'm going to show you a little bit. I shared this on Twitter, this video, but I'll put it here for you guys as well, so you guys can get a little bit. Do I share the audio? Yeah, I'll share the audio. All right. Go here. Let's get it rolling. I don't know why it's. Give me a sec here.
Wilson lets it go. Bowden gets deep. Got it. Touchdown, Kentucky.
Looking for space, and he finds it. Good block upfield. Springing Bowden. The cutback inside the 10. Another broken tackle, and Lynn Bowden hits Pater.
Around with O'Brien on this 3rd and 6.
Just 9 throws all day. Bowden, think and throw.
Take off.
Has the time. Launches it deep. And it's intercepted.
You don't want him throwing the football, brother.
No, absolutely not.
Bowden, big hole up the middle. Bowden with the burst. Touchdown, Kentucky. Four-man rush. They're going to throw it into the end zone. Touchdown, Kentucky.
There you go. So showing a little bit of his versatility there, bro.
Man. Yeah, I love this move, man. Yeah, I can see a lot. Again, players with that skill set, that's versatile like that, yeah, it's going to be very fun to see how they implement it, how they bring him along and ultimately integrate him into this offense. And yeah, it should be fun, man, between him and Malcolm Perry.
Douglas, we're still waiting on, it was 2 cuts we're waiting on before we acquired Lynn Bowden, but now we're waiting on 3 and they still haven't come out. So
I'm getting a little nervous there. Getting a little nervous.
Because, brother, our boy Benito Jones is clinging on for dear life.
Yeah, he is. Yes, he is. Yeah, I'm getting not nervous in a bad way, but I just really would like to see who made it and who didn't. And I really want to see them get this practice squad situation kind of hammered out and ironed out, and figure out the guys are going to prioritize who they're going to protect. So, yeah, I'm just ready, man, to get this whole roster cut down, finalized, and get everything ironed out and figure out and go from there. But yeah, Benito, man, that's somewhat of a surprise to me, to be honest with you, Reason, because we hadn't heard much about him. Over the course of training camp, at least the information that was released to the public.
He only showed up a couple times, really, right?
Yeah, I'm surprised, pleasantly surprised, but yeah, he's hanging on, man. So hopefully, hopefully he makes that 53-man roster, dude. Hopefully.
I wanted to, because guys, yesterday we went over a bunch of cuts, so we're gonna go over the cuts that have happened so far today. But yesterday, if you guys remember, I told you guys I would show y'all who we brought in for tryouts yesterday, before all the releases started happening, and I just wanted to bring this list up. There's some interesting names because we brought in former Cleveland Brown Antonio Callaway, wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
We brought in Nick Coe from Auburn. We brought in Brian Cole from Mississippi State, the defensive back. We brought in former running back from the Baltimore Ravens, Alex Collins. We brought Javarius Davis back in for a tryout. We brought in Janarian Grant from the wide receiver from Rutgers. We brought in Michael Roberts. Obviously, he didn't work out. We got rid of him. And then, of course, we brought in Jake Ruddick. So a lot of people were asking me what were my thoughts about Antonio Callaway yesterday. I think you could pretty much put a nail in that coffin. I think that one's done with the acquisition of Lynn Bowden Jr. And like I said, I want to see what our UDFAs that hopefully end up on the practice squad do. So what are your thoughts, EM? EM has gone muted. So that's basically where I'm at with, with all those tryouts. Are you good?
I'm sorry. Can you hear me, bro? I'm sorry about that, man.
I can hear you.
Yeah, when I saw this list, I didn't give it a second thought. Only player on there I think that has a serious, has a realistic chance of, of us bringing in is obviously Jake Ruddick. So I didn't think too much of that list at all.
Yeah. All right. I just wanted to show it because I told everyone yesterday that we'd go over that. I just forgot to because we got so caught up in everything else going on because it's kind of a crazy night. Let's be honest with ourselves, right? Bro, all I got to say is woke up this morning, Tua Tagovailoa's the Miami Dolphin, Justin Herbert's a Los Angeles Charger, and Josh Rosen's in the unemployment line. What a day to be alive, brother. What a day to be alive, huh?
Man, it's just good to have some closure, bro. It's good to put this narrative and it's just this cloud's been hovering over our team, bro, for the last year. And it's good to finally just be done with it and so we can all just move ahead, bro, and move on.
And shout out to the homie Houts for stating facts out here. I'm just going to put it up there. I don't even got to read what it says. Y'all already know what it is. All right. So shout out to the homie Josh Houts for the facts.
Oh, man, that's funny.
You got to love it, right? All right. So let's get into a couple things here regarding today and some of the cuts that happened because there were some to start off the morning. Me and EM talked this morning and I was like, oh, snap. I didn't realize that. because they were making cuts at like 6 a.m. in the morning. They got started to work early. But as you guys can see here, the cuts have to be done by 4 p.m. Some players who were cut this morning, 4 players were cut. Gary Jennings and Andy Jones were both cut this morning. Defensive line and linebacker Trent Harris and also linebacker Kylan Johnson were cut today. Kylan Johnson wasn't at practice, and then it ended up being announced that he was cut. So basically, guys, it says right here there are 55 players at the moment. That was before the Lynn Bowden trade. So we're at about 56 players. We're waiting on 3 cuts. But Flores had his presser today too, bro. He was asked about Rosen, and Flores says Josh worked hard. He competed. He did everything we asked. At the end of the day, we felt moving on was the best thing for the Miami Dolphins. He's a hardworking kid and competed. He fought through things. Last year was a difficult year, not starting and then not starting. He competed this training camp. I don't have any bad things to say about him. It didn't work out, and we felt it was best to move on. I wish him all the best. He's immensely talented. Asked if he regrets giving a 2nd and a 5th round pick for Rosen. You don't hit on every trade, every draft. Show me a team that's hit on every one, and I'll applaud that team. I'm not saying there's any regrets. In the moment, we felt that was the best move for the Dolphins. We moved on from Josh, and we'll leave it at that. On his confidence regarding Tua Tagovailoa in his Zoom today, he said Tua had a good camp. If we had to go on, he would prepare himself and do the best he could. Obviously, he's showing improvement. Right now, he's showing a lot of improvement. If he had to go in and play, that's how it would be. From a health standpoint, we feel good about where Tua is. At the same time, we're not saying Tua is number 2 or number 1. We're still looking at every possible scenario. We have a bunch of guys who are going to be released this evening. We feel good about where Tua is. Same about Ryan Fitzpatrick. We're going to move forward with those 2 guys that could potentially add another quarterback. Because remember, guys, on active day rosters, there's only 2 quarterbacks that are active usually. He said a quarterback could be added, but declined to say whether it would be Jake Ruddick, who visited team headquarters on Friday. He said options would be considered when other players are released around the league. Anthony Gordon was cut today. That's an interesting guy I would look at. He was waived by Seattle. Will the Dolphins be aggressive on the waiver wire? Because, apparently Anthony Gordon was killing it in camp. I can't believe they waived him. Will the Dolphins be aggressive on the waiver wire after all the cuts from around the league are made? We've got to see what's out there. If there are players we feel improve our roster, we will have a conversation about it. Tonight is going to be a long night from that standpoint across the league. Again, Devontae Parker, who was not practicing in 9 days. Today he worked on the bicycle. Mike Gesicki was not at practice for undisclosed reasons. Jerome Baker was working on the side, but in uniform. The bubble players at practice was Chandler Cox, Adam Pankey, Derval Queiroz-Nito, which he's a roster exception, and cornerback Tay Hayes. The Dolphins brought in familiar names with workouts, and it went over Ruddick, Alex Jones, Antonio Callaway, etc. So what are your takeaways from that, my friend?
Tua Tagovailoa, man, all systems go. It appears that we're moving, 100%. Tua's the man right now, man, and the fact that again, they released Josh Rosen, obviously, but quietly, from what I've been hearing, Tua has been more than advertised, according to a lot of sources. So a lot of information, we were only privy to some information, what they wanted us to be privy to, over the course of training camp. But apparently Tua has been showing them private, they have been very pleased with him privately. You know what I mean? And
I'll bring that up for you. What EM is referring to is this morning, Matty Infante from Pro Football Network tweeted out, so why are the Dolphins comfortable with Tua as QB2 despite only 10 months removed from hip surgery and having what the media has portrayed as an up and down training camp? Because internally, the Dolphins are raving about Tua. Yep. Expect to hear this leak from the media.
I've been hearing this story from a lot of different outlets, and I can't wait till they're able to release that information. But apparently, obviously, the moves that they've made, number one is health. He's as healthy as he can possibly be. But again, the reports about the players, not only the coaches, but the players raving about this kid's ability to, to distribute the football. Apparently, Tua must have shown them, plenty. You know what I mean? For them to, just really move forward 100% with him. And we're not surprised by that because we said that. Remember, you recall, we said that once Tua got into camp, once he acclimates to the NFL game, playbook, speed, et cetera, his natural ability would start to take over and he would start to impress people. And that sounds like exactly what has transpired. So I'm not surprised at all. I'm happy to hear that he's on schedule. And according to Flores, what he's saying, Tua's in play to start week 1. He's in play to start week 1.
Now, I don't think he will, but
he's in play. So we'll see how that unfolds. But yeah, I'm elated, bro, to hear that.
Because even Neil Driscoll, who's also from Pro Football Network, he said what he's heard is better than advertised as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And Neil Driscoll made a good point. He said, I don't think that most are understanding what the release of Josh Rosen indicates. Mm-hmm. It's saying that all of those who doubted Tua Tagovailoa's recovery process were dead wrong. Yep. Herculean effort by Tua to get where he is. You're more worried about releasing a bad Josh Rosen?
I know, right?
And, Neil summed it up pretty well there, man. It just shows, it shows where Tua is at right now. Mm-hmm. It shows how confident this team is in moving on with Tua Tagovailoa as their number 1 player.
And not only physically, but the mental aspect reason. You know what I mean? That tells me the fact that he said we're not ready to name him number 1 or number 2. Now, I don't think he'll start week 1. But the fact that he's in play, that tells you he's getting up to speed. You know what I mean? He's getting up to speed in the NFL game, the playbook, speed, everything that comes with the NFL game. And again, he's right on schedule. He might even be ahead of schedule, to be honest with you. So very encouraging to hear that we have two viable options at quarterback in the event who starts or, God forbid, somebody goes down for whatever reason, that we have 2 guys that they are confident that can get the job done at any point, any stretch of the season. So very encouraging to hear, man. Very, very encouraging to hear. So let's get
we got 204 people in the chat right now. I just dropped the link. Any of y'all want to join? Knock it out. Smash that like button.
Absolutely.
Subscribe if you haven't. We passed 1,200 yesterday. If you'd like to donate to the channel, paypal.me/Phinside. If you'd like to become a Patreon, www.patreon.com/Phinside the NFL. And as usual, shout out to our Patreon. Of course, the original OGs, Rhino Sith and Infinite Trauma, the first 2 that opened up their wallets to the Patreon. But then the rest of our Patrons, we love y'all just as much. Of course, we got Shake Money, Mr. 2-Bits, Seth, Ramon Casillas, KA All Day, Joe B, Fake Spike 94. Love y'all. Thank you very much.
Shout out to y'all, man.
Yo, guys, if you haven't heard, we traded for Lynn Bowden Jr. Essentially, what it was Lynn Bowden and a 5th for Raekwon and a 6th. So, guys, great move, great trade.
I wonder. The question is, homie, it's going to come at the expense of somebody on our depth chart because they're not going to put him. They're not going to trade for a player and put him on a practice squad. So it's going to come at the expense of some player we have on our depth chart that they hadn't released yet. So wonder who that would be.
I'm fine with Adam Pankey, Chandler Cox, and who else? Who else you want to name that we can throw out of here?
Oh, Chandler Cox.
Chandler Cox and Adam Pankey, and then we need one more gone. So I'm fine with that. I want to keep Tay Hayes, but I don't want to get rid of those guys.
Yeah, I hear you.
So, and guys, we're going to be live for a bit because we're expecting the cuts to happen as we are live, the final roster cuts. if Benito Jones can sneak his way onto this roster,
oh, bro, man.
I mean, you gotta love that, bro.
Oh, you have to. I'm pleasantly surprised. Pleasantly surprised to hear Benito hanging on, bro. So, but we all know how high we were on him before. During the draft process. We're not surprised. It never was about his ability. We were shocked the fact that he went undrafted in the first place.
Yeah, and I'm down with the Dolphin 82 and what Douglas are saying. You can give that third person can either be Patrick Laird or Quintez Neto, that Brazilian lineman. I'm fine with you cutting those guys too.
Oh, yeah.
Goodbye.
I like Laird though. I like his skill, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but we got like Bowden. If someone gets hurt, we can just shift Bowden back there now,
yeah,
right?
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
And we got Gaskin already. Here we go. In addition to the 20, it just happened, guys. Here we go. Are y'all ready?
Good news, please.
Get to it.
In addition to the 20 players that I reported were cut, Dolphins also waived Tay Hayes, Benito Jones, and Querez Neto. So that means Adam Pankey made the roster, Chandler Cox made the roster, and the guys that I got wrong on my projected 53 were Tay Hayes, Shaq Calhoun, and there was one more. Who else did I get wrong? I got one other player wrong. Shaq Calhoun, Tay Hayes, and who the hell else did I got wrong? I got someone else wrong. I got three players. Oh, Trent Harris. Trent Harris. So I got Tay Hayes, Trent Harris, and Shaq Calhoun wrong.
And Chandler Cox as well.
I didn't have him on the list. I didn't have Chandler Cox on the
list. Right. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so I had three wrong.
Hey. Don't worry, but I think Benito, he'll just go to the practice squad, man. He'll be –
well, so I think all three of these guys are going to go to the practice squad.
Yeah.
But here's another thing. Obviously, Adam Pankey showed something in practice because another guy who was not popping up in any training camp report.
Yeah. Showing enough. I mean, once again, showing enough, particularly in rebuilding, showing enough to stick around. Hopefully, particularly with a guy like Benito Jones, hopefully he's a guy that can clear waivers and we can keep him in the fold. But also, taking a look around the league, a couple intriguing guys got cut as well. So, and we just made a trade today as well. So this apparently this is what we're rolling into the regular season with. This what we see now. This is the crew. So
and shout out to the homie Mac Hollins.
Hey,
shout out to the homie Mac Hollins. God damn it. Put some respect on that man.
You know what's crazy? If you add Lynn Bowden if you add Lynn Bowden to this mix, I was right. They're carrying 7 receivers.
Yeah.
Shout out. Put some respect on that man's name.
And you know what? And in returns to him, a guy I had pegged to be a leader in the Wingstop room is now pegged to own a Wingstop if he stays on the roster for the entire season. So, hey, good on him for coming to training camp, dressed to impress, showing up, doing what you need to do to maintain an NFL job. Because, according to, what we know today and yesterday, nothing's given. And you got to earn it. So if Max shows up and earned it, he earned it.
Here's a little tidbit for everyone. Here you go. So I really wasn't wrong until the trade happened. Per source, the player who likely would have made the team before the Lynn Bowden trade was cornerback Tay Hayes. Bowden trade bumped him off. Hayes may get claimed off waivers. Finn's interested in practice squad if he's not claimed. Neto can be special 17th player on 16-man practice squad because he's that international exception.
Yeah, he's from Brazil.
So there you go. If Bowden hadn't come into the room, I only got 2 wrong. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. What the player they got, so I'll take it.
So Laird made it.
Gaskins made it.
Hollins, Gaskin, Baker,
Chandler Cox.
Cox too. Wow, that's surprising.
Adam Pankey is surprising to me, bro.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Nice talking to you.
Yeah, likewise.
Are you out of here, Rhino, or what?
No, just say hello. Being
Oh,
polite.
okay.
Yeah.
That threw me off right in the middle of
I was like,
I know, right? Yeah, I was like,
Well, it's hard. It's hard to get
okay.
a word. You don't want to cut you off. You're not sure if I'm talking over you. It's difficult.
Okay. Yo, Adam Pankey is the one that surprised me. That's the one I'm surprised.
I didn't even think about him, to be honest. Like
Me either.
he wasn't even in my realm of the 53-man roster. So, and once again, we don't have access to any training camp footage. We only know what the beat reporters are telling us. So Adam Pankey could have been doing things this entire training camp.
That's true.
And the beat reporters haven't even they may not have even been paying attention to this guy.
Okay, so here we go. This just came out. Let's go over this right now. So
official.
This is official.
Initial 53.
So it talks about how they acquired Lynn Bowden and they went over that. And then here's the list of all the players that have been waived. Salvin Ahmed, Breon Borders, Brandon Bryant, Shaq Calhoun, Matt Cole, Trent Harris, Tay Hayes, Nate Hawley, Jonathan Hubbard, Danny Isadora, Gary Jennings, Kylan Johnson, Andy Jones, Benito Jones, Kirk Merritt. We got so many Jones on this team. It's ridiculous. Chris Myrick, Derval Quiraz Neto, Tyshawn Render, Josh Rosen, Keaton Sutherland, Ken Webster, Nate Weeding, and then Nate Brooks was waived injured. And the following player was waived / injury settlement. So they paid him off. Kalen Balaj.
Right.
Oh my gosh, that just goes to show you what Kalen Balaj's value is. A player that had one more broken tackle last season than me, a guy who averaged 1.8 yards per carry, and you got to pay him to leave the facility.
Yeah.
Golly.
Man. Oh. Man.
So there's your full list of names. And let's see. I'm going to check right now. Let's see if they got the official roster with all the cuts.
Let's see.
I'm looking. Yes, they do, I think.
Right here, yeah.
They do. So here you go, guys.
Oh, boy.
We'll go over the official roster right now, too. So it's right live and in front of you. Shake Money is here. Hold on, Shake.
Shake.
Buddy, what is this? Am I the
Shake.
Yeah, you're surrounded by images.
What's good?
No, it's Reason. It's Reason and all the avatars. Let's go here. All right, here's the official. So it's obviously in alphabetical order. So Jerome Baker, Kalen Bala. Oh, no, this isn't updated because Nate Brooks is still there. You ain't gonna catch me sleeping like that.
Yeah. You see a photo of Kalen Balaj in an NFL jersey. That's a questionable list.
Oh no, that is actually technically right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fully updated.
Yeah.
It is fully updated.
Yeah.
It's because he's got an injury settlement / he's an injury waive. Same thing as why we saw Nate Brooks.
Right.
Okay.
So Jerome Baker, Lynn Bowden, Matt Breida, Kalen Balaj, and Nate Brooks are both on the injury waive list. That's why you see them. Chandler Cox, Julian Davenport, Jesse Davis, Raekwon Davis, Michael Dieter, Sam Iguavin. So there you go, EM. You were surprised that I had that call, but there you go. I got one of the abstract picks. Clayton Fedulum, Blake Ferguson, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Eric Flowers, Isaiah Ford, Kavon Frazier, Havoc, Miles Gaskin, Mike Gesicki, Devon Gotcha, Jakeem Grant. I didn't know he was Jakeem Grant Sr. till literally I was today years old. Camus Gruger-Hill, Matt Hack, Mac Hollins.
The homie.
Return of the Mac. Jordan
The
Howard,
homie.
Xavier Howard, Robert Hunt, Noah Igbenogany, Austin Jackson, Brandon Jones, Byron Jones, Ted Karras, Solomon Kinley, Patrick Laird with the bum shoulder, Shaq Lawson, Bobby McCain, Calvin Munson. Surprise to me that he did not get waived. Nick Needham, Emmanuel Ogbah, Adam Pankey, I guess because they were so low on tackles, Devontae Parker, Jamal Perry, Malcolm Perry. Look at how many double names we have on this team between Jones, Perry's. It's ridiculous. Landon Roberts, Eric Rowe, Jason Sanders, Adam Shaheen. So we are carrying 3. I've got an echo in someone. Zach Seiler, Durham Smythe, Jason Strobridge, Tua, Tagovailoa, the left arm of God, Andrew Van Ginkel, Kyle Van Noy, the Van brothers, as Havoc dubbed them, Christian Wilkins, and Preston Williams, and then Vince Beagle is on the injured reserve. Jonathan Ledbetter is on the injured reserve. And then there you go. You're opt out and you're retired. So there is your Miami Dolphins for 2020 so far, guys.
Ledbetter is still on the roster, man. Man. There's a few surprises.
Yeah, who's got that feedback? Shake, kill it. You're killing me, Shake. Go ahead, Ian.
Yeah, there's a few surprises on there. This Adam Pankey, that's a big surprise. Again, I'm with Havoc and Rhino. I wasn't even aware he was still on the roster, to be honest with you. But him and Sam Ekwavon, I did not think he would make the final 53.
Surprise.
And I would have got Tay Hayes. Bro, if we didn't get Bowden, bro. I would have got abstract picks for days.
But I think the injury to Vince Beagle, that helped a few players on this list, obviously.
Yeah, Douglas, both Perrys made it. Jamal Perry and Malcolm Perry made the team.
I think you'd rather have Bowden than being right, though.
That's true.
Much better.
Yeah.
That's true. I guess, yeah. Sometimes it just feels nice to be right. You can't be right all the time, though.
Well, there's a few surprises on there, but for the most part, that's what we anticipated. So
I would expect that would change by tomorrow, even Monday. I mean,
yeah, Munson and Pankey. Munson and Pankey are the two surprises to me.
Mm-hmm.
Chandler Cox, I get it because you could even use him as a tight end if you want.
Mm-hmm.
So I get that. I don't think he'll be utilized very much in this offense, but Pankey and Munson to me are the surprise because two guys we heard Jack Bo Diddley about really in all the training camp reports, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Munson got
Sam McGuiveen made sense to me because of the depth at linebacker.
Munson got significant playing time towards the end of the season last year.
Yeah, and he played well.
Yeah, he played well too. So, to be honest with you, I didn't think he'd be on the
I think if Beagle wasn't hurt, bro. I think if Beagle.
Oh yeah. Either one of them two definitely would have been bumped off. So.
Look at Havoc. Havoc's back. What happened to you, bro?
Internet got cut off. You know how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Internet problems, bro.
Cox is my biggest surprise.
Really? Over Adam Pankey?
Over Adam Pankey.
Oh, well, I didn't know who Pankey was.
That's a surprise to you then.
That's the whole point. We didn't even know he existed until we found out he was on the 53-man roster.
I agree.
What's good, Sharif?
Sharif, how y'all doing?
Sharif, what's good, homie?
Keep it together, Sharif. Keep it together, Sharif.
Hold on a sec. Guys, we got 248 in the room right now. Smash the like button, but do you know what that means? DJ, bring it back.
It's a foot race, and he will score.
Fire.
I had to, guys. Sorry,
I have a
to.
request.
Fire.
I have a request. Reasons.
Fire.
You want me to bring it back, don't you? You want me to bring
Yeah,
it
but
back? Okay.
EM, you got to get EM
Yeah.
with his finger.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
I could,
yeah.
yo, finding an angle for him
Yeah.
was an absolute nightmare, bro.
Oh,
It has the angle has to be at least
Really?
at an upward trajectory pointing. You get mostly ceiling, like you get a high ceiling ratio.
Oh my god! Oh my
Okay.
god! That is absolutely fire, though. Absolutely fire.
Shout out to the homie Miami Sports Cheese. Sharif, welcome to the channel. As I will scroll
Sharif,
through-
what's good,
I
homie?
will- guys, I will scroll through the roster again. Just when you see it, realize Kalen Ballage and Nate Brooks are only on it because they're waived injured designation, so they're not on the team. Sharif, what's going on, brother?
Man, I'm excited, man. I'm very, very excited, right? I mean, of course, the accuracy of the channel, you guys way before the draft spoke about, who's going to be on this team, basically, and who's going to hinder. And, it all worked out but I didn't know it was going to take on an angle and an aspect of Dolphin fans actually throwing hate or shade. You and I talk about that reason in the background, but that it's just amazing now. Some people are willing to go with Rosen to whatever team he wants to go to now. And
See ya.
we need to come together.
Have fun.
Right, and it's just a player that who didn't work out. We wanted the best for him, just like Tannehill and others, but didn't work out. And now we can't even be talking about you, homie. So thanks for coming.
We only talk about Dolphins news here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We won't bring no more Josh Rosen talk. Absolutely. Well,
Yeah, we done with that.
We definitely need to come together because I've seen some retweets and some comments and some things, and people just need to understand we're here on this platform trying to make it comfortable for people knowing their team, and we're not trying to necessarily say you're wrong and he's right. This platform is giving straight stats that can be backed with receipts and transcripts. So that's what we're really thriving off here.
No narratives, just facts.
None.
And here's the thing.
Facts.
Here's the thing. What do? Me and EM, our whole basis is we back film up with analytics.
Exactly.
We bring analytics and I guess you can say some stats, but more analytics to back up what the film tells you.
And reason, all the conversations, the private conversations that we had before we actually started the channel, that is what we agreed upon would be the focus at all times, will be to bring the information and to educate and be educated at times, because we don't know everything, but to educate, when we were on that previous platform, if you recall, I would always make the comment about, I'm trying to get people to get out of that Sports Center 2 a.m. highlight Madden Ultimate Team mentality, right? Well, that is the reason why Reason and I took the approach that we took with this channel. You know what I mean? And it's just bringing a different perspective, substantiated with film study, analytics. You know what I mean? And hopefully people can get something from it. And if you don't want to learn, that's fine too.
Like
that's the approach we took.
I'll tell everyone right now. I will come out here and I will take it on the chin, and I will admit I was wrong in terms of where he was drafted. If Austin Jackson shows up and shows out as a number 18th overall pick,
right?
Because, like I tell everyone, you got to be objective. You got to put subjective to the side all the time. This is what I always keep saying. Like when it came to Josh Rosen's evaluation from me and even from EM, that was all objective based. That was what does the film tell our eyes? And then do the analytics back up the story? And yes, the analytics backed up the story. And people took that as like personal and like, yo, it ain't personal. The reason why we wanted Tua and we wanted Rosen out the door is because we felt that scenario was better for the long-term success of our Miami Dolphins. Logo over ego, not ego over logo. And you got people over here who still won't admit they're wrong about Josh Rosen because they're ego over logo.
Right.
And
still doing it today.
We wanted to, and clearly, like I said yesterday, our evaluations, whether, we called months before free agency started, we called Van Noy, we called Byron Jones in free agency. Months before the draft, we called Tua, right? We educated people on Solomon Kinley and Robert Hunt. No one really knew who those guys were. Raekwon Davis, I literally called what pick he would be taken at, right? Curtis Weaver, even though he didn't work out, I was educating Dolphin fans on him back all the way in October, man. So, when you look at, because it's all about the reason why we talk about these people or highlight these people is because we think they're fits for this team. And clearly, when we talked about those players, whether signing or the draft, Brian Flores and company clearly had similar evaluations because those were players they all brought in. Hell, go to the other platform on day one before that number 30 pick happened. What was my exact quote? Watch us take the kid from Auburn whose name we can't pronounce. And why did I know that? It was simple, because if people, and it's out there, if people do the research, go back to the Auburn Pro Day when the Dolphins were there. This was a defensive tackle needy team, and they barely spent time with Derek Brown, and they spent all their time with Noah Benogany. You didn't have to be Miss Cleo to put that together. You just had to use the Xavier Howard situation. What did you have to use? Logic and reason. That's all you had to use, right? So that's all this comes from, man. And me and EM, there's no secret sauce. It's athletic profiles, scheme fits, and then players we see on film that fit both of those. That's the secret sauce. That's the max sauce, bro.
And we got laughed at on that other platform when we would say that, when we would bring that, when we would tell people, educate yourself on those, aspects of our team. That way, it's a hobby for me. It's a hobby for us to do this. I've been, draft, leading up to the draft process, for me for years, it's been a hobby. And when you educate yourself on the direction your team goes in terms of scheme, the athletic profiles that your coach prioritizes, when you get into this process in terms of evaluation, you take a more realistic approach. You know what I mean? And you're not sitting here playing Madden Ultimate Team. Well, I think Yannick Ngakoue would be the perfect. This is who I want in free agency. You know what I mean? Or I want,
give Logan Ryan $10 million.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd do that move. You would?
Yeah. I'll take him. Man, that way, and see, people used to get so offended on that other platform, and I was never trying to insult anybody. I was just trying to offer a different perspective in terms of in the player evaluation process. And I just don't understand why, we receive so much pushback over that. But, it is what it is, man.
I want to just jump off what EM says, and I want to mix that in with the way Greer has now built this team. If you guys haven't figured it out, he's literally put his chest on the sword and said, I've taken these players the last 2 years, and I'm going to go down with those players. So I'm proud of Greer for that, because now what I'm seeing is he's basically flushed the whole Mike Tannenbaum player and regime.
Disease.
So,
good evening, gentlemen.
What happened is we've already failed with a second round pick in Rosen. He's failed with a Weaver. He's failed. I wouldn't say failed, because he could have someone who's better than Weaver, like Strobridge, and then we wouldn't worry about Weaver. But you get
but he's not waiting around. They're getting rid of them right away.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's taking this regime and he's doing what he really wanted to do, but what Tannenbaum was blocking him from. And we're saving a bunch of cap space. We're only 2 years in. So if Ogbah, like Reason said in the last broadcast, if Ogbah outperforms his stretch what he's doing now, then you can easily let him walk and get a compensatory pick and replace that in the draft when we see the draft again this year.
Oh, thank you for mentioning that. That's another player who I believe when we signed EM, what did I say? I said this is a defense 3-4 that they don't highlight sacks to come from one person, but if anyone's going to hit double digits, it's Emmanuel Ogbah. Yeah. And what's been the report out of camp? that he's clearly been a beast.
Dominating.
He's been dominating people. And if anyone's going to hit double-digit sacks, it's going to be Emmanuel Ogbah. Again, all I did was I looked at the athletic profile, and it's something me and EM highlighted. He's the only one in that front seven that has that rare combination of athleticism and power. And that is why I said that's, you watch him in Kansas City, the bend he has when he comes around the edge. That's why I was like, yo, that's a guy who's, and I said, when we signed him, what's another thing I said? I'm telling y'all right now, he only signed a 2-year deal because he knows he's going to cash out after 2 years.
What?
And I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. No, because he knows he's going to get double-digit sacks potentially yearly if he stays healthy in this offense, and he'll be able to get big money after 2 years.
Right.
Yeah, but he knows he's on a show me deal. Like, he knows his talent level. That was easy, and plus, he's going to be put in a position where, he's gonna be able to impress. But I think it's important to note that when you stand on the side of the tape and facts and evaluation, doesn't mean you're going to be right 100% of the time. Chris Greer ain't going to be right 100% of the time. Ain't no one going to be. But it is a solid foundation. It's a solid research-based, foundational base to make evaluations based on. So, like, during this whole period we're in, when people would say, you don't see what's going on with Rosen, and I would just look at the tape, and I would come back, I would look at the interviews, and I would come back, and I would say, I don't see what you're seeing. And at a certain point, the words came out of his own mouth, probably his last Zoom meeting that he had, when they said, hey, Josh, what were your initial impressions of the scrimmage and your performance? And the words that came out of his mouth were sloppy. When you have issues, when your main issues are not necessarily physical, but they are mental, and the words coming out of your mouth is sloppy, who knows what Brian Flores' evaluation was, if that's his own self-assessment. So, once again.
You know what is puzzling?
Yeah.
Rosen's progression and Tannehill's progression, I can't tell the difference. They're not good enough for my team.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, Tannehill is miles ahead of wherever Josh Rosen is right now.
I don't think. Listen. I'm not the biggest. Listen,
let's not be
Tannehill,
crazy.
Listen, I know, right? Tannehill hurt me just like every other fan in our community. But let's not disrespect that man and put him in the same category as Josh Rosen.
Come on now. We're at a point now where at a point where Josh Rosen is going to Wingstop with Mac Hollins' referral. Like, hey, my boy, he let me know y'all are looking for work. I'm here.
I'm just glad we didn't wait 7 years to wait on.
I can work.
I can work any shift. So I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, for a guy, sometimes you got to eat that crow. When you up here making these assumptions, you got to make that crow. If Mac Hollins comes out here and has a great season and stays healthy, man, I mean, that if for no other reason, that is the steal of steals for a guy whose NFL prospects were light.
I want to go over, guys, because we got about 250 people in the room, people that weren't here when we talked about it earlier. Guys, the Miami Dolphins have acquired Lynn Bowden Jr. from the Las Vegas Raiders, and I want to show another little highlight clip for everyone to get y'all a little bit excited about what we just gained today. Check it out, guys. This is what we got today. Like I said, this was my running back 11. This guy, he is a dynamic playmaker. Get him the ball in the open field and watch out.
16 wins for Kentucky, 15 for Louisville. Takes it out of Rose's belly at the last second, and then just takes over. Bowden inside the 30, cuts it back. Staying on his feet, touchdown.
Nice.
I mean, the vision's there.
Oh, yeah.
You can clearly you can see the field.
Reason they won't hit you.
He was one of 5 players in the last 10 years to lead their team in rushing and receiving yards.
So he's bigger than he looks. He's bigger than he looks.
This play. I think I repeated this.
Yeah, he's got good size, man.
5'11", 204. I
Near
read
the
somewhere.
midfield.
Look at him as a
Backs up little
returner.
bit. He's got some room to return this one. And very dangerous in the open field. What a move.
Oh, shifty.
Trying to get to that corner. He does.
Very shifty.
Wow.
10, touchdown.
Wow.
And he can pass.
And you know what?
What did I tell you guys when I read about my evaluation a little bit earlier? How shifty and elusive.
And you know what?
Man.
We're starting to see a theme come up
Lynn.
with that Malcolm
Look at it.
Perry
Takes the hit.
archetype.
Look at this.
Driving and
Still driving forward.
You
Love
know?
it.
Touchdown.
Love it.
You can-
Keep
you
the
can-
legs
you can-
turning right there, man. I love that.
You could see a lot of a lot of Julian Edelman in him in the open
There it
field.
goes.
Wes Welker in the open field. A lot of that. You know,
I
apparently
actually- a little bit of Landry toughness too, yeah.
Yeah. It's
With-
the archetype
with
is
the-
there.
with deep speed. These other, Wes Welker and Julian Edelman, they don't have deep speed. So this kid, you can line him up really because
4-3,
of his
right?
profile. Yeah, 4-3-8. You can put him anywhere, any position in our offense. You know what I mean? On the boundary, in the slot, obviously, running back. Yeah, this was a very, very good pick, man.
Yeah,
Very good
and
pick.
you talk about the versatility. It's not just a theme on the defense, because you got a guy like Malcolm Perry that can run, throw, and catch the ball. You got a guy now, Bowden, who can run, catch, and throw the ball as well. You're starting to see a little bit of an archetype show up where we, as much as the defense wants guys that can do multiple things, they're looking for the same thing out of the offense. They're looking to mix and match, and once again, play the matchup game, much like how we talk about the defense. Play the matchup game. Get guys in positions where they can take advantage of a varied skill set, so the defense doesn't know what's coming.
Guys, I wanted to.
And they showed.
Whoa.
And
I wanted to also say, guys, Kavon Frazier has been named special teams captain.
Hey,
So there's a little bit of an update for you guys too. Kavon Frazier has been named captain of the special teams, and I mean, what a great story! This guy coming back from injury to now where he is. I mean, and going off Lynn Bowden a bit here. Lynn Bowden and Malcolm Perry on the same field at the same time. Oh my goodness!
that's a dirty Wildcat.
Wow.
We are
Is Kavon Frazier a defensive end?
no, he's a safety.
He's a safety.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
That's
And one thing about this staff, they showed how creative they can get in terms of, drawing up plays. Remember that special teams play when we played the Eagles last year? How that came at way out of left field. So they've shown that they can be very creative. So with Perry and this kid, man, it's going to be fun to see what kind of
And did you
packages
see what?
they include them in.
Did you see? Did you see what the Raiders offensive coordinator Greg Olson said about Lynn Bowden before he got traded to the hours before he got traded to the Dolphins? He said, "You see the game changing from year to year. The use of the RPOs and use of the Taysom Hill, those types that played the RPO style and offense in college. They become valuable. So we've got Fitz, Tua, Malcolm Perry, and Lynn Bowden who can all run that RPO offense."
Man, you got all them lined up in the backfield. You don't know what's coming from what direction. And as always, shout out to Australia.
and the thing about it is that they even mentioned this, that they fast track talent and they try to coach them, and if they don't make it, what do you guys think? Do you like the fast track moving to talent, and if they don't work out, get rid of them like the Rosen, McMillan, or do you want them to hold on to guys a little longer? Because this is a 2-year plan now that we're seeing.
It depends on the player.
It depends on the player. Hey, I agree. I agree with you, Ryan, because I want to see some of these guys what they're gonna do in year 2. I would really like. I want to prove Greer right. So I want to see Nick Needham take that step. And you see where I'm going with this. What do you guys feel?
It's like JJ said. I treat everyone the same. I treat them differently. It's the way you got to operate.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone on this roster can really, at this point, we have high expectations, but we need to see the production first. So before, we start talking about, handing out privileges or anything like that, we need playmakers to emerge. We got a lot of guys pegged as potential playmakers, but we need to see the production on the field. It's great. We got the Van brothers. You got Raekwon Davis and Igbenogany, a rebuilt offensive line, but for right now, it's all hopes and wishes. When the production starts to match up with the projections, then we can start saying, we can craft our game plan this way. We can do this and do that. But for right now, and particularly in the immediate, which is what we really need to be focusing on, it's about New England week 1. We shifting out. Training camp mentality is done. We're shifting to the New England Patriots and what is to be expected in week 1.
Right. Which is probably they're going to install everything, which is one of the reasons they had to get rid of people like Rosen, because they're going to install everything. You don't want, he's not going to be here, and you don't want him translating anything to anyone. So
I don't think him reading defenses or anything of nature is necessarily a strong point, but
well, I think they made a decision for whatever reason. They decided they were going to keep 2 quarterbacks. I don't know what the logic is behind that. They must have it, and I think they came to the conclusion that Tua is number 2, and they had to make the move. I mean, you can't hold on to these guys for too long when they don't show what you want them to show.
Yep, you don't want to end up like Tennessee and Marcus Mariota holding on to him for way too long.
Get you fired, man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Hey guys, I got a question. How many running backs did we carry last season?
I don't remember.
We had a lot in and out.
I don't remember.
We had Mark Walton was in, then he was out.
Is that Dolphin 82? What's up?
Yeah. Hey, what up, EM?
Where you been, homie?
Working, man. They working me like a Hebrew slave, man.
I hear. Hey, I know the feeling, homie. I know the feeling, but I can only blame myself for that. But I understand, homie. I understand.
The reason why I asked, I was just curious because I'm just curious why are we carrying 5 running backs this season, especially Chandler Cox. I'm not following why.
Do you count Malcolm Perry as a running back or wide receiver?
Well, I count Malcolm Perry as a wide receiver. That's what they count him, right? That's what the Dolphins count him as.
That's where he's been getting most of his play at. So yeah. and they're saying Lynn Bowden, his versatility, they got him slide as a guy coming in to challenge at the wide receiver position as well. So
that's what, 7 wide receivers they're carrying?
Something like that.
7?
Or you can even count Perry and Bowden as like almost like flex, flex players.
In my mock draft, I loved Bowden late in the rounds, like late 6th, late 7th. I loved Bowden.
Yeah, I thought he would day 3. I didn't think he would go on day 2.
Yeah, I watched him in college. Yeah. He's a pretty nice guy in college. As you can see in the highlights, what he did to the Gators. So he was on my radar. But
yeah, it says 5 running backs according to the
Bowden,
Breda, Gaskin, Howard, Laird receivers.
Yep,
they got 2, 4. It says 5 receivers on the. So maybe they're just putting him there. I don't know.
I mean, is this we've pegged Howard and Breda as going to be kind of the bell cows of the running game for this season, but it just goes to show me that the days of pulling dudes from Lowe's and Baskin Robbins is over. The days of production get snaps has officially started. Mm-hmm. We ain't worried about the tacos and we ain't worried about those types of players no more. Right. We're in a place now where we're not going to be pegged into the hole of hey, we just don't have bodies here, period. So Bobby McCain, you're a free safety now. Them days is done. Done.
You know what I like about this team too, Havoc? With all these players who can play multiple position, we're not predictable now on the offense.
Exactly.
That's what I'm loving about this team. You could bring on Perry, and you could bring on Bowden, and you could bring on Cox and Shaheen and Gesicki on the field together. You have no idea who's getting the ball or what we are doing. Right. You will be so damn lost. Are we going to throw the ball? Are we going to run it? You will be so lost. And because last season we were so predictable, and I hated that.
Yeah. And you're looking at Bowden coming in as a returner. challenging for snaps at punt and kick return as well. So that's just another weapon.
Hey, as long as they don't have Preston out there, that's all I care about.
Yeah, I hear you.
Man, when I heard that training camp he was practicing in the kick return, I was like, come on, man. Punt return. It's like, come on, stop it.
Yeah. To answer your question about the Chandler Cox, I think Coach Flo would love to actually run that I formation and have it be successful. I think that's one of the things he dreams about. And to run the I formation means you're a tough physical football team, to me.
Well, we do have the line for it. I can tell you that much.
Well, and you know what? I think the reason why, we talked about, last week about the possibility of Chandler Cox not being on the final 53. Because of, you can have Emmanuel Roberts play fullback. Well, that's what I thought. But we can look at this two ways. Obviously, the power scheme that they're implementing, and I think, that's going to be the approach early on, in particular early on. But I think Emmanuel Roberts is going to have a more increased role. See, in New England, he was basically a supplementary player, so he could, he would have some snaps playing at linebacker, obviously, and he had some snaps at fullback. But I think with his increased role, I think he's going to have a much larger role in the middle of his defense. So you don't necessarily want to start a middle linebacker playing fullback at stretches. You know what I mean? Especially how much I think we're going to lean on that running game in particular early on.
Right.
I agree with you, Ian. I agree with you because especially he's been balling out in training camp too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Chandler should have gotten bigger and stronger too. Now his offseason should have landed him some pounds.
He might have. I mean, he might have improved. I really don't think.
Who knows?
I really don't think Flores would just have him on the roster.
Matt Moore got cut.
Yeah, he got cut. I saw that 20 minutes ago. Oh, don't even say Reason. He's not coming back, Reason.
They're keeping Chad Henne over him.
Wow,
man.
So there is hope for Rosen in this league.
For the latest in Dolphins former Dolphins quarterback news. Chad Henne appearance. Once again, another player who is still in the league. How? How? I mean, and y'all out here worried about Rosen. If Chad Henne is still cashing NFL paychecks, but Josh Rosen is going to be fine.
Here's something from Barry Jackson here. Dolphins gave injury settlement to Kalen Ballage. They have 7 wide receivers for now. Bowden is being listed as a wide receiver by the Fins. So, I told you keeping 7 wasn't too far-fetched. They think he can be a good one among bubble guys kept as of today. Chandler Cox, Pankey, and Matt Collins. Dolphins could make waiver claims tomorrow because, guys, there are some important dates coming up, and I'll go over those right here for you guys. Just let me bring that up for a sec.
Oh man, Kalen Ballage, man, gave him that injury settlement. It's crazy. Walking out the building, Matt Collins gave him one of those brochures of Wingstop coupons. Like, bro, you're gonna need this more than me. This is straight from the lemon pepper poppy to you.
Hey, did Matt get him an interview, bro? Did he get him an interview?
Bro, he gave him a referral. Man. Hey, listen, Matt Collins is the gift that keeps giving. He gave him a referral. He's like, yo, this is my guy. Has a great profile. Not shaky hamstrings, but great at the fire.
And guys, tomorrow, here's some. There's still some important dates left, and I just want to show you guys what we have coming up, so y'all can stay informed. Here you go. So, again, by 4 p.m., as you saw today, teams must be down by 53 men. Final wave players can be claimed until Sunday tomorrow at noon Eastern, guys.
So the watch is on.
Practice squad start Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern. And again, $8,400K minimum for rookies, $12K minimum for vets. And then, so you got tomorrow there's some big things tomorrow. It's going to be interesting tomorrow after when you get after 1 p.m. There could be some claims coming in. So just dates dates and times to keep in mind, guys.
Yo, Todd.
EM, don't be too excited if Mike Collins is not on the team tomorrow.
How you doing, man?
I'm just saying.
I hear you. He'll be on the team. I'm confident he'll be on the team.
Yeah.
What's going on, Todd?
What's going on, Todd?
How's it going?
Todd, what's going on, man?
What's up, Todd?
I just hope Benito Jones doesn't get claimed.
He will.
That's a real possibility. Oh yeah.
I think him and Tyshawn Render is going to get claimed.
You know, if that's the case, then who are I mean, we have no idea who we're looking at in terms of the waiver wire, because
exactly,
you know, if we're worried about losing guys, there are other teams just as worried about losing guys too. And I'm sure Greer and Flores, as guys with talent evaluation backgrounds, they're on it.
That surprised me. We don't have anybody as a pure zero tech behind Davis.
True. Well, you know, Devon Godchild is still hanging around for the season, so you know they're probably gonna have to be best man. You know, whoever who can best hold that down is gonna have to fill that gap.
Yeah.
Now that you brought that up, Todd, EM and Reason, can you guys talk about that 5 technique? Because that would mean 4 big fat guys in there and a couple of ends, right?
Hey.
It's 3 down linemen. Oh wow.
Well, from what I understand, Wilkins is slimmed down.
Yeah, he lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
And I think when you're talking about from 3 to 5 technique, you're talking about basically what they're called just 3-4 defensive ends. So you have obviously your zero technique plays directly over the center, and then you have your ends on your left and right side playing in that B to C gap. So but I mean, I agree that my preference this year, we all know I would have rather than went and got a veteran presence, a true nose tackle. We all know who I wanted in the beginning was Michael Pierce. But if Godchild could improve, I think all players, Christian Wilkins, Zach Seiler, he got he got snaps there last year.
Yes.
Obviously Raekwon Davis. Raekwon, from what I'm hearing, he has just been, he has been a terror. He has been an absolute menace. So, and we've seen his tape. His tape is what it is. Right. So all of them have that ability to play that position. But I just would prefer if I'm nitpicking here.
Vince Wilfork.
Exactly. That's the prototypical profile.
They don't grow on trees though.
They don't. Exactly. I agree. But I think in terms of profile, in terms of height and weight, Godchild is a better prototype. But Raekwon, again, he's 6'7". You know what I mean?
Massive.
And massive. And again, taller players in general on the defensive line when they transition to the NFL struggle with pad level. And that's just compounded by taller players.
What would Godchild have to do to impress you enough to want to keep him?
Well, first off, I'm not paying Godchild.
Great question.
Take less money.
I mean, at a reasonable price. At a reasonable price.
Godchild isn't going to command a reasonable price. He's going to want around $8 million a season.
Okay, exactly. So that would be the first step. He'd have to have a reasonable price, but what about his play?
Well, I mean, Godchild's a solid player. You know what I mean? He's been solid since he's been in the league. He's not horrible. I don't want anybody to think me and Reason have been consistent about that. It's not, an indictment on Godchild's player.
Yeah, we just said he's going to price himself out. That's
exactly. He's going to want anything north of $8 million, and I'm sorry, Devon Godchild, I'm not playing him.
So $8 million is the line. $9 million. Is the line.
No, like 4 or 5 is the line.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
I would entertain 6. I would go to 6, but that would be max. That would be my limit.
Yeah,
but
I think
he's a good player.
I think when you look at a lot of teams that struggle in this league, a lot of them they overpay role players. That is the quickest way to 8-8 is when you got a whole team full of Devon Godchild making $8 million a season. You are asking for 8-8.
Absolutely, and we've seen that. We've seen that for the last 20 years.
Yes, we have.
Apparently,
he's more of a 4-3 defensive tackle or a 3-4 end. I think you can sign it at
apparently
3-4.
There's a big extension that's about to come down to the waiver wire for Tre'Davious White.
Okay.
And a quote unquote Ian
surprised.
Ian Rappaport said it's massive.
They better.
That means it's above Byron Jones's number. That's what that means.
And it's warranted. You know, he's that kind of player. He's a top 5 cornerback in the league right now. So
Parker going to school this season.
That's a wise investment.
Do you guys think we should kick the tires and look at the player that got released by Dallas with HaHa and say
hell no,
absolutely
hell to the no.
You know what? When I look at his film, that's exactly what I do. HaHa, I laugh.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? When I look at his tape,
the quickest that dude ever moved is when he got caught on video running from that bear. Y'all seen that surveillance video?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Just to give Todd a little idea, that Green Bay never had a good pass defense, and that's where he had his best years, and they never had a good pass defense.
Yeah, I mean, he's just, he's just a guy. He's probably come to the end of the rope, I would say, and
well, y'all know,
and you know what? We're not. People say, there's a narrative that, we're starved at safety, but at a certain extent, Eric Rowe and McCain got another year underneath their belt. So,
and you got to trust Greer. Brandon,
I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned about Eric Rowe.
Yeah,
I'm not concerned. I look for him to even have a better year.
Yeah, he got stronger.
I truly believe that.
It's about whether Bobby McCain can hold up for the whole season.
It's Bobby McCain is the issue.
Yeah. So. And his ability when it comes to attacking the high point, when it comes to taller receivers, does he have what it takes when the Mike Evans of the world are barreling down towards you to break up that pass?
The thing with Bobby, right? He reminds me of the little guy who plays safety for Kansas City.
No, Tyrann Mathieu. He doesn't remind me of Tyrann Mathieu at all. Tyrann Mathieu is a whole different beast.
He would break his shoulder coming in for a lot.
Yeah, I mean him and Tyrann Mathieu are maybe in terms of size are similar, but in terms of archetype, Tyrann Mathieu is a serious upgrade when it comes to run defense.
Absolutely.
Bobby McCain almost broke his whole upper half trying to support the run.
I remember that play, but
bro, and then he blew up Kalen Ballage.
I was gonna say Bobby McCain got rid of Kalen Ballage, who I wanted gone forever.
You know what? When you almost get your entire upper body demolished, and then you blow up Kalen Ballage. Man, what does that say about Kalen Ballage?
I know. I'm telling you. That is what the straw that broke the camel's back with Kalen Ballage. I'm sure Greer was sitting there. Who was that in blue? Wait, hang on. Stop it. Stop. Everybody stop. What the heck? Is that Kalen Ballage just got blew up by who? Oh, heck. Go get you some Gatorade, young. Go to the sideline. Go get you some Gatorade. And then they told him later on he hadn't seen the field since. I'm telling you that. I know he was frustrated about that.
I think Bobby was always explosive, but I just think his game was corner, right? With Bobby McCain, he was always explosive to me. That's why I compared him to Tyrann Mathieu. And so,
no. I wouldn't say I would never have said Bobby McCain is explosive.
To me, he's explosive, man. I did. He's play free safety.
I thought his claim to fame was his stickiness in the slot. I always thought that was his claim to fame.
And you know something, I think that was overrated too, because I don't understand. That year he had a decent year. He graded out fairly decently 1 year when he played primarily in the slot, and Mike Tannenbaum, gave him that big contract. But everybody was acting like, oh, Bobby McCain is just this lockdown guy in the slot. He was not. He was decent. You know what I mean? He's an average athlete. He has average speed. Now his change of direction and his feet is what got him in the NFL. But I would never mention explosion in Bobby McCain.
And you know what? I think particularly and this goes back to the Devon Godchild argument about keeping him. having contracts where you have, guys who can't play in the NFL, but you're overpaying them. That is the fast track to 8-8. A contract like you have enough Bobby McCain and Devon Godchild contracts on your on the books. Boy, we ask you for more of the same.
I really like your thinking, because what you're saying is Brandon Jones, we're gonna pay him instead of paying Bobby. Let Bobby walk. That's what you're saying, right?
I mean, it goes to be seen what Brandon Jones is bringing to the table. Even although he had reports are he had a good camp. I would just rather have your high upside guys get the money, and when you're talking about your role players, guys that you can cycle in and out, that's what the draft is for. That's what trades are for, not to overpay these guys. When you got,
I
agree.
And I think Bobby McCain, I think the reason why he was drafted is because, I remember during the draft process, he got a lot of comparisons to Brent Grimes when he came out. If you recall, first off, Brent Grimes was undrafted, but they're very similar in terms of their size and their lack of long speed. But what made Brent Grimes good was his feet were just, it's like he was walking on air at times. You know what I mean? And his ability to transition in and out of his breaks, change of direction was elite. And his technique was elite as well. So, but if you look at him, their profiles, they're very similar players, but Bobby McCain is just not, he doesn't excel in the other areas that Brent Grimes did, obviously. So, but Bobby McCain, man, hopefully this year, I can be sitting here, here in another, couple months and saying, damn, I was wrong about this dude. You know what I mean? I would be glad to say that. I missed on Bobby McCain, but I think that's highly unlikely. But I think we need to move on. I just rather we move on from him as soon as possible, to be honest with you.
Well, that's why what I said, and I don't know, because I guess his play since his birthday has been pretty decent. But I mean, what I said before the pads came on was maybe they'll watch the waiver wire to see if any safeties that intrigue them get cut. And there's some decent names out there, but obviously
Earl Thomas is still out there.
Yeah, but obviously nothing is intriguing enough to make a move, bro.
Ooh. Yeah.
I don't know if you want Thomas.
I don't know if you want to. Earl Thomas around here right now, homie.
No, it would have already happened. It would have already happened, bro.
Maybe.
That's all he is Earl in an old cup.
What about Earl? What about old Earl?
He's had, considering we are in a situation where everyone's summer has been about being locked down, boy, has he had an eventful summer.
Yeah.
I don't know how he did that. And he still got, oh man, come on, Earl.
And he still got a contract. Yep.
Who's he? Did he get picked up?
No, not yet. He's still out there, man.
And Jadeveon Clowney just fired his agent. I guess he's been his agent because he didn't get picked up.
And you know what? Logan Ryan just fired his agent and he got a contract. So
well, I saw the Saints. They ate dinner. Sean Payton and his staff ate dinner with Jadeveon Clowney last night. Apparently.
But watch this. Are these guys trying to do what Laramie Tunsil did, which was needing no agent and then milk Texans, basically?
Well, what worked out for Laramie, he's with a dumbass coach and a general manager. That's the big difference.
And they're the same person.
So he was in a perfect situation and he knew it. He knew it. He's like, I'm gonna take advantage of this fool, and he did it.
And also, I mean, he had him by the nuts. I mean,
he did.
they
Pretty much.
talking about you gave up 2 firsts and a second. You have to give him whatever he asked for.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he played it right.
Speaking of contracts, you see Deshaun Watson re-signed with the Texans.
Bro,
I told y'all there's no way they
What did
let
Reason
get out
say?
of town.
What did Reason say?
What did I say?
Reason said he wasn't going to
He's talking
re-sign
about what I
with the
said.
Texans.
He's talking about what but he's talking about what I said today too. There goes any shot at the Lombardi for this guy.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Which is why I think he only signed for 4 years.
How old is Watson?
Yeah, so that means he could have gotten 8 years.
He's 24.
24?
Yeah, they're saying on his contract after the re-up that if he signs another big contract, he can make more money than Patrick Mahomes over the course of Patrick Mahomes' contract.
And we all know that Mahomes' contract is going to be restructured 10 times past Sunday by the time it's over.
Definitely.
Don't believe that contract. Only believe the guaranteed money. So
and here's just a look at who some of the top safeties available. Some of the top. Oh, sorry, my bad. Some of the top safeties available right now are Earl Thomas. That kid that Washington just cut. They just cut him. What's his name?
We just talked about him a little while ago.
We talked about him this morning.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea you're talking about.
Son of a. I'm gonna have to look it up. But there's actually a decent amount of safeties out there right now.
Swearinger?
Oh, Sean Davis.
No, never.
The Sean Davis. Yeah. Sean Davis.
Mm-hmm.
So there's actually a decent amount out there. I just don't know if they're gonna move on anyone. I think they're gonna move with what they have right now.
I agree.
Hey,
I mean, they're keeping an eye out, definitely.
You see us picking up a quarterback and just stashing him on practice squad?
I think that's what they're gonna do with Jake Ruddock because you only activate 2 quarterbacks on game day, right?
And seeing that, everybody's talking about Ruddock couldn't go on the practice squad. Now that they did it for veterans this year, that'll be an easy pickup for us to throw him on there.
All right, here's basically the best safeties available right now on the market as of this morning. So this is prior to the cuts are Sean Davis, Adrian Colbert, Clinton Dix, Demarius Randall, and Earl Thomas.
Well, I think Earl Thomas is heading to Dallas now that they got rid of
I mean, there was a time where after a game where the Seahawks played the Cowboys, and Earl Thomas walked by Jerry Jones and said, "Hey, come get me. Come get me." They're gonna get him for about $1 million probably.
Yo, we only got about 10 minutes here before I got to dip out. Is there, you guys want to cover something quick before we go to final thoughts?
Yeah, sure.
Any ideas of what that is, or no? Have it?
I mean, I thought you had something in the tuck, but
yeah. No. I don't.
I mean, I'm just wondering. I think particularly considering Chandler Cox made the roster, and they said that they were trying to flash him out at tight end. Is that still a possibility? Because even if he's on the roster, he's not. Particularly if you're talking about the way our offense is going to be, which is probably balanced. How many snaps per game realistically is he gonna occupy?
Yeah. Plus, we kept 3 tight ends.
Yeah, and we kept 3 tight ends. So I'm just wondering Yeah,
I don't get the usage of because Chandler fullbacks aren't really fully utilized in the Shane Gailey offense, but maybe it's because they want to truly go with a little bit of a power run this year. So
yeah,
and I think that's the reason why he's on the roster.
Yeah, particularly maybe a Landon Roberts impressed enough where they're like, you know what, we might have brought you in as a guy that could play a little bit of linebacker, a little bit of fullback, but if they're looking to up his reps, then you're gonna have to have a full-time fullback.
Flores talked about that a couple of seasons ago because someone asked him about Landon Roberts possibly playing fullback, and he said their plans for him are at the linebacker position.
Okay, well, there it goes. It's just like almost like a Mac Hollins at long snappers type situation where it's like, just another feather in the cap.
And Flores he doesn't say anything. So you would ask him about Xavier Howard. Okay, Xavier Howard, we don't know when he's going to be playing, but Xavier Howard's working on the sideline or something like that. You won't get anything from Flores. So I like it like that because the enemy is out there, and this is what Belichick does. And let me just add on. What if we were to go into a 6 lineman, or instead of the tight end, an extra lineman, and announce that now a Kinley and a Robert Hunt is looking to kill somebody? So if we can get into that I formation and just run the clock out, if we have a 10-point lead, that's Flores' dream to me.
And I think something we've definitely learned through the training camp is even though Brian Flores doesn't say much, he's really telling y'all a lot. When he starts giving y'all these PR, these scrub down answers, understand what that really means. That's all I gotta say.
He gives information. It's subtle. It's subtle, but he gives information. He does.
Yeah,
because like the day he's talking about, there's no 1 or 2 for Tua or Fitz, and then he's like, if we have to bring in Tua, little things like that.
But let me propose this question. Then during the current training camp that we had, when Flo gives analysis or starts talking about specific players, at times he will personalize it, right? He will say he did particularly good in this in particular. But for certain players on the roster, he'll either say he's working hard, he's doing what we asked, but he won't really bring up too much of what they're specifically doing. So I think what we've learned is, when you get in those canned lines, when you get in those PR lines, you get in those scrub lines, he's out here, he's out here with the cover fire. So
I want to just
taking that away.
I want to give everyone an update because the numbers have come through. Tre'Davious White's contract, it's 4 years, $70 million. So that averages out to about 17.5 a year, obviously. So it should be interesting to see how much of that is guaranteed. But big money for another corner in the AFC East. Tre'Davious White, 4 years, $70 million, guys.
Congratulations to him. Hey. X gets 75 or 70.
There's on him.
I mean, we're gonna have to see. Yeah, like Reason said, we're gonna have to see what the guaranteed money is.
Telling you, the AFC East has the best corners in football.
Yeah, and soon to be one of the best quarterbacks in due time.
I just wanted to go over this this article that just came out from a friend of the show, Alan Popar from SI, and it's basically about Lynn Bowden Jr. and it talks about why the Las Vegas Raiders traded him. It talks about how the Dolphins were one of the teams who liked him as well. So basically, here, let's scroll down here. I'll go over it for everyone. Where's the rest of the article, Alan?
That happens all the time with that.
What happened?
Some of the receivers solidified themselves at Las Vegas.
They cut them off.
But they said that the Dolphins had a face-to-face meeting set up for Bowden, and COVID hit.
Yeah,
basically by hours, and then they had to drop back to a Zoom call.
I have the article right here on my phone, guys. I don't know why it wasn't showing up for you, so I'll read it off. And it basically says, so now that Bowden has been traded from the Raiders to the Dolphins, the question must be asked, what happened in Las Vegas and why did Mike Mayock and John Gruden give up on him before his first regular season game? And basically they checked, Alan Popar checked in with the Raider Maven publisher Hondo Carpenter, and it said Lynn Bowden was a Swiss Army knife in training camp for the Raiders this year. He was able to do numerous things at numerous positions, but didn't fit on the Raiders where they had several players that could do the same. He was the quintessential player that was the jack of all trades, but a master of none. His inability to be a potent blocker and pass protection is why he's not in Las Vegas right now. While not dazzling, he looked very good running the football from the running back position, as well as a returner and as a receiver, but not being able to break into the too deep at any of those spots, combined with his struggles blocking in passing situations, was his downfall.
Okay. I mean, that sounds like a real analysis.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't think Greer and Flores had him to be the third down back on protection for Fitzmagic. That's number one. If he's gonna be in there,
he's gonna be in the slot. He's gonna be in the slot, man.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So it's a good logical reason why he didn't make the team, though.
Yeah.
Put him in a situation where you highlight his strengths and you minimize his weaknesses, and they won't.
That's what we
put
do
him in that situation.
And we do that excellent, actually.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go through for some. We still got 250 in the room right now, guys. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. We hit 1,200 officially yesterday. Let's go through for final thoughts, and I'll go to you last as usual. Rhino, we'll start off with you.
This was a better day than I thought it was going to be. Would have been nice if we were having some kind of real news, as far as who we can pick up on the practice squad, but we have to wait till tomorrow. But the Bowden trade, it's good energy. It's logical. It seems like they have a plan, and I'm glad they're sticking to it. And I have more faith in Flo and Greer than I've ever had. And fins up. It's all good.
D82.
Hey, you got a 53-man roster for now. Hey, I'm happy. Can't wait till the season start. Fins up.
Yo, y'all are getting too comfortable with this avatar nonsense. Sharif, what's good?
Hey man, Dolphin fans, we may not have 11 Pro Bowlers, right? But we expect year 2 to see where the diamonds are in the rough, where the gold shakes in the pan, and we are expecting some of these players, some of them to take that next step to Pro Bowl level. So let's go Dolphins.
Havoc, what's good, homie?
Shout out to Australia as always. Dolphins Nation, we've been through a lot the past day, the past 24 hours. It's been a lot. And, as we leave the old behind, now's the time to embrace the new. So right now, training camp mode is over. Right now, I want this guy, I want that guy, at least up until Sunday. That time is over. We need to shift our gear, much like how we need to shift our gears in the regular season mode. Right now, it's about understanding what our identity as a team is on the offense and defensive side of the ball. It's about establishing the culture that'll eventually be the foundation of a winning culture that will eventually lead us to a Super Bowl. Until that day, it's fins up all day.
Go Dolphins.
All right. Todd, what's good, buddy?
Hey, nothing really surprising today other than Trey Hayes and Benito Jones for me.
You had Adam Pankey making this team. I don't believe you for 1 second.
No, but I'm just saying, I'm talking about he would have been gone, but getting rid of Benito Jones over that.
Yeah, I know.
That kind of, I would have gotten rid of him over. I would have kept Adam Pinkney over Davenport because everything I've heard is Davenport's been on his rear end the whole camp.
Well, not the whole camp. That's not the whole camp now.
A lot of it. Okay, he was a lot of it. Curtis Weaver had his best day going up against Julian Davenport.
Yeah, so I would have definitely.
What do you mean? That's in the reports. The receipts are out there.
Yeah, I agree. But
hey, the part that worries me about Benito Jones is Belichick trying to stick it to us because they don't have a defensive tackle or nose tackle either. So I kind of was shocked that we didn't keep him on the roster. But other than that, I'm happy with the way it's looking and can't wait to see what our practice squad looks like. Everybody, you all be safe and fins up.
Yeah.
You too. Yeah, I want to appreciate everybody for coming through again, for the support, all the love everybody shows us, showing the platform. And but yeah, it's not too many. I'm glad, this day has finally come and we can pretty much get an idea of what the roster is going to look like. I mean, there could be some.
You're so bad.
There could be some unforeseen change, surprises coming up tomorrow. But we have a pretty good idea of what the roster is going to look like, come day one. And there's a few. There was, one big disappointment for me today. Obviously, it's with, Benito Jones not making the final, 53. But hopefully he makes it. He clears waivers, and no team is going to poach him. And
look at your screen, Em. Look at your screen.
I see him.
Guys, I just want to remind everyone after you're done watching the Tua documentary on Fox,
4 p.m.
I want you to head over to public access television, and you can go find the new Josh Rosen documentary. Make sure y'all catch that.
Oh my God!
Y'all are crazy.
I will be tuning in. I will definitely be tuning in. But at the end of the day, man, yeah, this is a very good day for us. Obviously, the trade, bringing this third round pick in, and Bowden, and hopefully hopefully we can hit on him and he turns out to be a player for us. But other than that, man, I'm disappointed with Benito and Kirk Merritt. Hopefully they clear waivers, bro, and we can protect them and put them on a practice squad. But we'll see how that unfolds. But other than that, man, y'all already know what time it is. All day, every day, baby.
And guys, when you wake up tomorrow, don't forget to say your prayers to the left arm of God. Right before you watch that documentary, make sure you check that out. And guys, for all of you who are in the paid league tonight, I'll see y'all in about an hour. And don't forget, your boy Reason's too legit to quit. And I'll be getting that in tonight. That's the team y'all gotta beat because I'm about to take it to y'all tonight. Other than that,
show the one with Tua carrying everyone.
Oh,
you have that one?
Yeah. Hold on.
That's the best one.
Hold on a sec. Threw me off.
Sorry.
What channel is that Tua documentary on tomorrow? What time?
Fox, 4 p.m. Eastern.
FS1.
FS1, 4 p.m.
If you miss it, it's going to be on the, like EM said, FS1, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Okay. Oh, it's on Fox.
Main channel, big Fox, 4 o'clock Eastern.
Okay, cool.
And then FS1, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I think.
By the way, White got $55 million guaranteed.
Out of the 70?
Okay.
$55 million guaranteed.
Don't worry about Reason. I'm sorry.
So he's going to be there for that entire contract then.
Yeah.
And guys, as requested by Rhino, here's the future outlook of the AFC East quarterback situation.
I love that.
We may or may not be back tomorrow. I don't know yet. It all just basically depends on if any big waiver claims are made or anything like that. If nothing of significant happens, we won't be back because we got a pretty big week coming up this week. So, guys, remember, Wednesday, it's going to be me, EM, Dudley Do Wrong, Dante Collinelli, Mr. Ball Game, Paul from On the Phinside, and Great One DeVore. And we'll be having a round table regarding the end of training camp and the beginning of the regular season. So y'all are going to want to stay tuned for that. And then Friday will be our first ever Friday show during the season. And the Friday shows are going to be something special. I'm not going to give away what the whole show is going to be about, but it's going to be more than just a preview of the game on the weekend, guys. So you're going to want to tune into that. And then, of course, on Sundays, you tune in right here. Half hour after the game ends, we will be going live for a post-game show where me and EM will give our recap and analysis for the first half hour, 45 minutes, and then we'll be opening it up to all of you guys in the chat and all our subscribers to come on, either vent about the loss or celebrate the win. So we got a lot of big things about to start, and then we got some other things. We're not going to go into details yet because we know the biting is real, but it's coming this year, boys, so get ready because it's about to kick into full gear this week.
Here.
So it's here. We are 8 days away, like Rhino keeps reminding all of y'all. So, guys, hour 48 minutes. We still got 223 people in the chat. We appreciate each and every one of you. We hope y'all hit that subscription button. Subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to donate, all the links are below. Until next time, guys, it's Fins Up all day, every day.
All day, every day. Be safe, everybody.